On November 11, 2023, Wyatt's father, William Franzoy, received a phone call he'll never forget.
An officer told me that my son.
And a warning, what you're about to see may be hard to watch. A crib sits empty at a home in Denver.
I gotta build a bear in remembrance of him.
That bear and these stuffed animals
And then some other of his favorite toys.
is all Isabella Hernandez has left of her son, Wyatt Franzoy.
He was always very happy.
My son didn't make it.
Target 7 has discovered that prior to Deputy Garcia joining the sheriff's office, he had previously been charged with 3 counts of abuse of a child and aggravated DWI from an incident happening in 2015. A criminal complaint claims Garcia was driving drunk with 3 people under the age of 18 in the car.
And by his own admission in this criminal complaint, he had a previous DWI in Texas that he voluntarily disclosed to the arresting officer. I'm deeply troubled by this, John.
A lot of ways to turn a man into a terrorist. I always have to say, man, I'm never, and I'm not saying this to like just sound good or be facetious, I'm never advocating senseless violence. I'm more a fan of just recognizing the humanity of situations. And if you murder a man's child, that is a surefire way to potentially turn him into a terrorist. Trailhand Bill. I don't even feel like saying it this time, y'all. I mean, in my last video, when they tried to kill Morgan up there in Kentucky in front of her kids, well, I wouldn't say try, well, I would say almost kill Morgan in front of her kids and maybe the kids too. I was talking about how they're out here killing kids, and they in New Mexico killing kids. I got a couple of names, man, before we get into the video. I got a couple of names I want to share with you guys. Patrick McDowell, I hope I'm saying homie name right. He's in Nassau County, Florida, about 5.5, 6-7 hours from me, how I drive, 2021, man. Traffic stop, he murdered 29-year-old officer Joshua Moyers. Again, I hope I'm saying his name right. We're going to talk a little bit more about Patrick later, Lord willing. The second name I have for you guys is Robertdson. 52-year-old former New Mexico resident. I give you one guess what him and Wyatt have in common.
I don't know of anyone who's dealt with this kind of horrific incident.
The city of Farmington and 3 officers are facing a wrongful death lawsuit.
You knew you screwed up. After shooting off numerous rounds, and not only my husband, murdering him, but at me.
Robertdson's family heartbroken, his wife witnessing her husband's body in their doorway. The deadly shooting captured on their Ring camera footage. The family's attorney says Dotson's death was unjustified and intentional.
They weren't supposed to be there. They were supposed to be across the street, one house up.
But instead, the 3 officers arrived to the wrong address, Dotson's front porch.
You know what my problem is, man? I'm too emotional. I'll be honest. Let's check on Wyatt.
Well, charges have been filed against a Luna County Sheriff's Corporal after he crashed into a car carrying a mother and her 14-month-old son. The mother survived, but the baby was killed. News 13's Jessica Garatay has the parents' reaction to the newly filed charges.
Wyatt and I were headed home the day of the crash. I didn't know this would be the last car ride with my little boy. I didn't know this would be the last time I saw him alive.
It's the worst feeling in the world when you hug your child for the last time and they're ice cold.
The parents of Wyatt Franzoy talk about the day their 14-month-old son died nearly 6 months ago after Luna County Sheriff's Corporal Paul Garcia T-boned the family's car.
Deputy Garcia's conduct changed dozens of lives forever. None more so than Wyatt's parents, Isabella and William.
Back in November, Corporal Garcia and an officer in training were responding to a robbery call in Deming and speeding down Highway 11 going 130 miles per hour.
I never saw the sheriff's car speeding behind us. I remember slowing down before the intersection and turning on my blinker, and then my life changed forever.
A police report states Corporal Garcia moved into the opposing lane as Hernandez turned, hitting her car at 99 miles per hour.
Unfortunately, there was an alleged glitch with Officer Garcia's dash cam video, making the footage of the actual impact unavailable.
Hernandez suffered from numerous injuries, but her baby boy didn't survive.
It's not fair. This Luna County officer gets to go home to his son. Meanwhile, if I want to see mine, I have to go to the cemetery. I visit Wyatt often, and I usually go when they're about to close so I can read him his bedtime stories just like before.
I still have the dirty diapers and bottles from that day before he was killed, because I just can't seem to let go of anything.
Corporal Garcia's case was sent to the Alamogordo DA's office, who filed charges for homicide by vehicle and great bodily injury by vehicle yesterday. Wyatt's parents are demanding justice.
My first and only son was taken from our family because of a reckless and dangerous driver, only 2 months after his first birthday. He didn't even make it to his second Christmas. I pray that no parent ever has to know the pain of returning Christmas gifts that were never put under the tree.
Jessica Gaddeth, KRQE News 13.
Corporal Garcia has been in trouble before. He was convicted of driving drunk in 2015. The criminal complaint says he narrowly avoided hitting a Luna County officer and told them he had a previous DWI conviction in Texas. Last year, he was awarded the 2023 Deputy of the Year in Luna County. He's still employed by the Luna County Sheriff's Office.
Today's agenda. Got the suitcase up in the central. A lot of ways to turn a man into a terrorist, man. Rest in peace to Notorious B.I.G., man. If you know, you know, man. I'm a hip-hop fan, so, you know, there's that. He had a song, man, called Somebody's Got to Die, man. And I keep saying it's a lot of ways to turn a man into a terrorist. When I heard that man say a few months before his second birthday, Sahabi said that, then he was like, he didn't even make it to his second Christmas. I didn't know where he was going with that, right? Because a lot of parents have lost children, right? Have had to bury their children for various different reasons. So I thought he was about to say, and I don't mean insensitive when I say this, but you usually hear parents saying, I hope no parent ever has to know the pain of burying their child, because parents are supposed to die before their children. That's what you'll usually hear, something like that. But when he said, I hope no parent ever has to know the pain of returning Christmas gifts that you never put under a damn tree, bro, I'm holding back tears right now. The only thing that I disagree with this father about, and I'm sorry, I kind of sternly disagree with you here, sir. You say your son was, you know, his life was taken by a reckless and dangerous driver or irresponsible driver, something along those lines. I heard you say that. I heard you say it twice because I listened twice. I don't think you got that one right, sir. In my estimation, and then, you know, I told you guys, I'm emotional. I get emotional, you know what I mean? I said that in several videos. It's true. That's why I said it. I tell the truth on myself. Your son's life was taken by a murderer, sir. We're going to talk about that. I don't think this was simply, I think you're very gracious there, and I can't say that you're wrong for that, but I think we need to call this what it is. Your son's life was taken by a murderer, and I'm going to delve into that, but so you don't think I'm just jumping out of a window here. Think of what you heard in that report about this man's habitual criminal offense. What they didn't say in this news report that they said in another one was one of those DUIs, driving while intoxicated situations that he had, that's documented, you know what I mean, there was police activity there. He had underage children in the car then too. So no, There's no citizen who could have that type of history with driving while intoxicated and inebriated, and then they murder someone. I don't give a damn what the circumstances were. At least the general public would be calling them a murderer. And I'm pretty sure, if not all, there are certain sectors of our justice system that would be as well. So as gracious as you were to this guy that I want to call a bunch of names, but I'm not going to because of what Christ said and did, I'm going to be as gracious in asking you to respect the fact that I disagree. I don't think this was a dangerous and irresponsible driver alone. I think this was a dangerous, irresponsible murderer that was aided and abetted by the American government. On this date, his dad received a call he would never forget, man. A lot is always said about a mother's love, man. I have a mother, so it can be overbearing sometimes, like I'm a grown man now, right? But a lot is said about a mother's love, man, and if God blesses you, I think with any type of stable brain, you will appreciate your mom and the way that she loves you, even if it is irritating and it does overstep her boundaries at times. You know what I mean? It's okay to let your parents, mother or father, know, I do appreciate the fact that you love me, but you are overstepping your boundaries. You can let them know that in respectful ways. But once again, I think if God gave you anywhere near a stable mind and you have your mom, I know people have difficult relationships with their parents, but you would appreciate your mom. I'm saying that to say, I don't think enough is said about a father's love, man. I hope no parent ever has to feel the pain of returning. Listen, man. And on top of that, I'm just going to call him a murderer because I'm telling you, I know the names I want to say, but there are so many other ones that my tongue can't even form my mind can't even think that deep into the depravity of what this guy is. And we're going to talk a lot in this video, I'm sorry. But to think, not only did you murder my son and almost kill my wife, not only are you still employed with the agency that never should have had you on the job anyway, that's why they're guilty of aiding and abetting. I'm always saying I think all of them need to be in the feds for RICO activity. Not only is all of that going on, after you murder my son, now you're sitting at home probably making some type of under-the-table money, but still getting paid, being funded by money that's coming out of my damn check. There are a lot of ways to turn a man into a terrorist, and thank God for grace. I don't know if people understand what it's like to be a father in this position. We grieve for parents. We empathize with mothers and fathers. But I'm trying to tell you, I don't think enough is said about dads in these type of damn positions, because it takes not only a lot to turn a man into a terrorist. If you are a father in situations like this, it takes a lot not to become one. I'm trying to tell you. You murder my children. Who wouldn't have problems after that? I'm a believer, guys. 1 Peter 2:23. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. Jesus, my Christ. It'd be a lot of times I'd be wanting to jump out the window. I'm never trying to talk tough. I always like to bring the humanity back to the situation, right? We do that with everybody. I'm saying we do it with everybody else. So there are these specific demographics of people that we remember their humanity when we're assessing them in the situation they find themselves in. Definitely government agents are one of them, right? I like to do that with everybody. And so when I do that, I myself have to sit back and say, let me just be fair, balanced, modest, and not so emotional that I'm going to go over the top. And the best barometer, the best measuring stick I have for that is the example that my Lord said. So I promise you, while researching this video, man, and getting my thoughts and, notes together, I'm thinking about this text, man, because I'm telling you, that's not even my child. That's why I want to reiterate. A lot of people maybe need to try. I'm not going to say you can imagine, but just try to imagine what it's like to be a father. It's been drilled into your life the whole time that you're alive. Men are the protectors and the providers newsflash, I don't mean no disrespect. I think that is some misguided logic. I'm not saying it's not true. I think it's only part of the truth. Another conversation. But that is what's drilled into the mind of responsible men in our nation, probably worldwide. I'm pretty sure worldwide. Your moral compass just points you in that direction. Society points you in that direction. Your examples, your family members, your loved ones point you in that direction. And then some coward murders what you were supposed to protect and provide for. And then not only does that happen, there's no recompense for that. And not only is that insult to injury, now he's walking around living a free life where he doesn't even have to work. And part of the reason that he can do that is because the government is taking money out of my check. It's a lot going on there, man. And to balance those emotions, I think we all need, but I can definitely speak for myself, I think we all need proper escapes, for lack of a better term. And for me, I found the perfect one in Christ. So that helped me calm down while researching this video, and even just getting through that, knowing I was going to share it with you guys, actually doing it. Now let's talk a little bit more about what happened here. If a law lets someone break your rights, shouldn't anyone enforcing that law be held responsible? Justice William O. Douglas, sir, we don't know each other. You were born in 1898, myself, many, many years before that. At least on this moment in 1967 or thereabouts, if not always, sir, it is my opinion that you displayed yourself as a very spectacular specimen of men. Chief Justice Earl Warren. I wish I could say the same for you, sir. In your opinion, as long as cops think they're doing the right thing, i.e. enforcing laws that any open eyes can see are clearly immoral, inhumane, and brutal, there should be no accountability for their actions for them. And the only ones who are the arbitrators of whether or not cops thought they were doing the right thing are cops. See, we back on this qualified immunity thing because back in 1967 or thereabout, when the Supreme Court was trying to make a decision, and, my partner, William, O.D., we're going to call him William O.D., he was trying to tell his other eight peers that there's no way in hell any American citizen should be able to clearly, I don't give a damn what laws established, violate another human and walk away with no recompense. He was trying to tell his homeboys that because, it's obvious, right? I can't just murder you and say, hey, man, well, I thought he was trying to kill somebody. The man was in his yard cutting his grass. Yeah, but he, there's a blade under the lawnmower, and I didn't know if he was going to take, no, your ass going to chain gang. While Earl over here talking about, nah, man, but it is a blade under the lawnmower. And if an average citizen thinks that, but why would a dude cutting his grass in his lawn want to hurt an average citizen? But if it's a cop, then of course the cop doesn't know if the guy, as soon as he rides by, in his patrol car and doesn't stop, and the guy doesn't even look at him, how does the cop know he's gonna take the blade off and swing it at his window and kill him? So if he shot him, he probably, it's an unfortunate event. We apologize to the community, but the cop was in fear for his life. Sir, it makes no damn sense. That's what the homie OD trying to tell you. But somehow you convinced 7 other people, I'm sorry I wasn't in the room, this is another 4 dummies lesson, that it made sense, that weekend story about maybe he gonna take the blade. Come on, y'all don't be making no sense. We back on this qualified immunity stuff because I just wonder, Mr. William O. Douglas, OD, did you know that your coward partners were making it okay for this coward in New Mexico to murder, take from his father and mother this 14-year-old baby boy? Did you know that's what they were doing? Is that why you say if a law lets someone break your rights, shouldn't anyone enforcing that law be held responsible? I don't know, sir. You had incredible foresight, or you were, like I said, in my estimation, a hell of a specimen of man in 1967 or thereabouts. And unfortunately, you had 8 other peers there who had that nowhere in their blood or spirits or hearts, which is very unfortunate because right now, it is the reason that Wyatt, 14-month-old Wyatt, had to wait 6 months for an appearance of justice. I'm curious if those 8 other justices led by Mr. Earl would have took those gifts back to the store for his father and mother. Since they're the ones who adamantly laid the groundwork for habitual offenders to murder babies and walk away scot-free. It's the least they could do. New Mexico State Police. Y'all a hell of an outfit. Deputy of the Year. This man tell y'all if he don't do nothing else, he gonna drive drunk and reckless, very possibly with kids in the car. Y'all respond with accommodations. Robertdson, 52 years old. How you wake up in the middle of the night to bleed out laying in your front door, dying in front of your wife, defending your home from armed terrorists? My bad, I meant law enforcement officers. Maybe Earl and his partners got some answers for us. You heard how his wife was screaming? Cops don't care until it's their wife screaming like that. They don't want us to care until it's their wife screaming like that. Qualified immunity. Who would have guessed that America's commitment to legally terrorizing Negroes would have led to this? I mean, y'all literally employing criminals on the tax-paying citizens' dime. Y'all employing habitual offending murderers on the citizens' dimes. I mean, we knew that, right? But I'm saying y'all use guns, gang beatings, paramedics. They supposed to come and help, but then they just end up shooting arrestees up, with needles at the officer's command until the arrestee is dead. Like he's already been tried and convicted. She's already been tried and convicted. Hey man, shoot them up with that needle till they dead. We already know they're guilty. Get them out of here. And nobody really care because the world see it like y'all only doing it to the thug from the hood, the meth head from the, trailer park or whatever, the unmentionables, the prostitute from 63rd Street or whatever, you know what I mean? That's how the average citizen sees it. Like the cops are the good guys and those things only happen to, but I mean, God, what's up with, what's up with Robert? What's up with Wyatt? What's up with Tamir? What's up with Philando? The names go on. And we're going to talk about that. But right now, the point is, damn, y'all don't just use all these other, y'all don't just use your tried and true and well identified at this point in human history methods to murder adults, American adults. Now you're using your cars to kill kids too. And whatever other weapons of terror y'all choose to yield against the American public. Listen, let's play guess what's consistently been the top in the top 3 causes of officers' death since at least 2014, 2023, according to their statistics. You need me to say that again? Let's play guess what's consistently been one of the top 3 causes of officers' death since at least 2014 and 2023, 10 years running, according to their statistics. Countdown over automobile crashes. I caught watching cops in Cooper City, man. Two vehicles. They left on my side running for the longest. It's on video. I'm so backed up on content. I say I'm gonna profile some of my own audience and show you. But the highlight of that was I told you guys I was in Cooper City, Florida, right? If you know the area, you understand what I'm about to say. Broward County. I think it's Broward County, but it's definitely Cooper City. Everything's so close around here. It might be Dade. I'm pretty sure it's Broward. Anyway, very shortly before that, and I'm talking about weeks, an officer in this same vicinity, right, the same locality, responded to a call, left his vehicle running. While the vehicle was running, a lady jumped into her car, got into a high-speed chase with him, and crashed into an elderly couple who were just trying to travel home. They passed away. There's a lot of hoopla about how much that officer was a victim, and now a few wise voices had the sense and courage to ask, did he break protocol by leaving that vehicle unsecure and running? I always say I have to research this because officers do that commonly. And that's why I was profiling those officers that night and policing them, because I'm wondering, like just a few weeks ago, 2 very innocent citizens died because one of your compadres left his damn car running. That bandit left his car running now. And the lady jumped in and killed 2 people. Now, the lady isn't the only culprit in that situation, but even if you think she is, it didn't register to y'all that you should be a little more vigilant about those type of things? Obviously not, because you left the car running for 5 to 10 minutes while I'm out here filming it. I could tell you countless stories like that, man. In that same time, a high-speed chase, an officer chasing a driver through some residential neighborhood. Long story short, I think it was the cop. The cop, just like in this situation, cut guy was driving one of those big box 18-wheeler trucks, cut the guy off, killed the guy, man. The cop walks away alive. I mean, he was injured. I think they got the suspect later. They have protocol for how they're supposed to handle these things. Residential area, high-speed chase, hell no. I got a video I want to profile if I can get to it about a cop. He just starts shooting. They murder, why am I forgetting her name? I mentioned her in the last video, sweetheart, I'm sorry. 14 years old. She's shopping in Target with her mom up there in California. And this baby girl is in Target trying to buy Kinsetta. I always say that wrong, I'm sorry. because her and her mama and family and dad about to go to some event. Cops shooting up, and why are you shooting anywhere there's a target at? Do you have to be a police officer to realize unless you're trying to kill somebody or don't care about killing somebody, you shouldn't be shooting in those types of areas? I mean, y'all are just always out here killing people, and you don't just murder us, you employ these murderers. This guy killed Wyatt back in December, if I remember the correct date. Y'all didn't fire him. Y'all didn't send his home and tell him, yo, bro, I'm sorry, but you got to find out how to get your own money right here. You sent him home, and then you paid him with his father's and mother's tax money. That's not insult. That's you saying us. How do you think we're going to respond? With accommodations? You motherfuckers is crazy. And you're always telling us about officer safety. I want to rehash this, man. Y'all are out here competing for the top domestic terrorist chapter closer 10 years and running. Do I need to say that again? Since 2014, at least until 2023, 10 years and running, according to their statistics, one of the top 3 causes of officers' deaths have been crashes. I specifically detailed just a few incidents for you. Trust me, there are countless and countless and countless and countless and heartbreaking more. It's not just an emergency situation where things happen in life. It goes like that. A guy just died somewhere in America, or I say guy, it may have even been a woman, but a citizen just died because the damn tree randomly fell where they park every day. One day the tree fell on their car and it killed them. Things happen. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why are you going 180 something miles an hour in a high speed chase, sir? Are you crazy? You're a corporal. Officer safety. Y'all out here pretending to be scared of us when the biggest threat to anyone in your presence, whether you're walking or in a vehicle, is you. How the hell you think we feel? In the sheriff's department, a corporal is a mid-level ranking officer who supervises, he said he had a trainee with him, a group of deputies. They are responsible for leading and coordinating patrol activities, ensuring adherence to policies and procedures, and providing training and guidance to deputies. That's who you are. I don't even really give a damn about that right now. I do because you murdered that baby. I don't because who in the hell is making the decision that you, sir, are qualified to fit that description, man? You are telling these people that if you don't do any damn thing else, you're going to drive drunk, reckless, and very possibly with children in the car. Who the hell above you? In the last video, I'm telling you, you got to check out the last video. You'll get why I kept mentioning that qualified immunity and commitment to, legalize and terrorize the Negroes. You check it out, man. I'm going to link it right there. It's up there in the right-hand corner. Cops literally said they can break into his house for his ex, who had no legal reason or authority to be there. They said it on camera. They'll break into his house. They did it. They beat his and then charge him with 5 felonies. He's suing them right now. One question he asked as the journalist was interviewing him, recounting and, raising awareness about the situation, one question he asked was, who's governing them? I want to know who in the hell is governing the people that are saying you, sir, are qualified to fit these descriptions, to be leading people, to be setting examples, to be coordinating patrol activity and ensuring that anybody is adhering to policies and procedures when your don't know you shouldn't be driving 185 miles an hour with free American citizens who pay your damn check and fund at least material existence of you, your family, your loved ones, and everything you're responsible for are around trying to get home with their 14-month-old son or whoever else they got in the damn car, sir. You can't do none of that when you can't make those kind of simple decisions. And none of this colorful stuff I'm saying is ever gonna bring Lil Wyatt back, or Tamir, or Robert, or Roger Fortson, who y'all just killed down here in Florida at his home, I'm hearing. And I'm also hearing that may be a murder. I'm not going to get too deep in it because I don't know the details right now. I'm like falsely accusing nobody, even tyrannical terrorists. Officer memorials. Y'all shot Mike Brown. We got a debate about it. Y'all killed Sandra Bland. We got a debate about it. Y'all killed Philando Castile. Everybody in the world was saying that man was a saint on earth. We got a debate about it. Robertdson, middle of his home. Wife watching, bro. Y'all break into this man's house in the middle of the damn night. What the hell did you think he was going to do if he was just 2A American? Hell right, he going to defend. If he ain't have any man, woman, with a little bit of courage, you breaking into the house in the middle of the night, they're going to defend their home, their castle, with whatever they can defend it with. The hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all murdered that man and laying in his front door, bleeding to death in front of his wife. Y'all crazy as hell. This man got a whole family, wife, and kids. Man, listen. We still got a debate about it because every single one of those officers who murdered that man were found not guilty of any criminal charges. Every single one of them. No recourse for that family, that wife who watched her husband be slaughtered in front of her for defending her and his castle. You know, there are women terrorists too, and they were motivated by certain things and events. Not advocating senseless violence. This habitual offending, diabolical terrorist alcoholic murdered a 14-month-old baby. And instead of justice, that was another debate. Y'all had to debate half a year about even charging him while he was allowed to remain a taxpayer-funded, government-sanctioned traitor. He's guilty of treason. As a government agent, he literally declared war on the American public and stamped it with the blood of a 14-month-old infant. He's guilty of treason. And y'all are guilty of aiding and abetting. That's RICO activity. But fuck all that, man. We know y'all gonna let each other off the hook every time. I'm just wondering if maybe we can forego a few of these officer memorials across the nation. And let's put some money into building memorials for all these undebatably innocent American citizens that y'all have murdered. Can you at least concede that? Probably not. I guess it's okay because, you know, New Mexico, like I said, y'all a hell of an outfit. Y'all did charge this officer. You know, America's going to be tuning in to see how the hell this case unfolds, because we definitely need more than just some superficial charges here. We need a thorough process of justice for this family and American citizens on behalf of this 14-month-old boy, Robertdson, and a lot of other ones, because y'all didn't charge those officers in that Robertdson situation. Speaking of justice, for you guys to be the armor bearers of it, for you guys to be the self-proclaimed arbitrators of it and gatekeepers of it, you should have a perverted view. I done said so much by now, y'all probably forgot about Patrick McDowell down here in Florida, right? I shot him. When he fell to the ground, 2 more kill shots. I can't remember, guys. I'm not trying to be insensitive here. This man has a family. To his head or to his chest. That's the part I can't remember. You know, at this point, I'm sick of this. I cannot sit here and watch these people get up here and try to explain to you guys why I don't deserve to die. They've already found him guilty at this point. He murdered an American police officer, law enforcement agent, you know, the government guys. He murdered a Thin Blue Line guy. You can't do that. And he's right now saying, hey, you know what? I did it, man. I cannot. We are in a mitigation phase. My loved ones are trying to get you to spare my life. But, like, that's not how this thing is supposed to go. I am a man's man. I did what I did. I have to pay what I owe. This is a real life situation. Patrick McDowell murdered, once again, an American law enforcement agent down here in Florida. Detail how he did it. He wasn't trying to be flamboyant about it and insensitive. He's saying, like, listen, man, let's stop the charades. I did this shit, man. I got to pay what I owe. And at this point, it's just my very last breath. That's the shit. That's how this shit go. This is what this cop killer, self-proclaimed, government proclaimed, judicial process proclaimed, jury proclaimed, cop killer is saying to this judicial system right here in Florida that he's in front of, to the American public, to anybody who's watching. I did it. I'm a man for real, man. I got to pay what I owe. We can't sweet talk around this. It's kind of some shit that man do. You murdered a grown man. Now, I'm of the mindset, me and my Christianity, I get my worldview from the scriptures. Totally, I believe them, that no life is more valuable than each. Christ died to redeem all of us. That blood was shed for each and every, human individual. So there's no hierarchy there. I know in our minds, we tend to think, a little crooked there about baby, children, child. Like, no. I think what we're trying to communicate is we have more responsibility to protect them because they're not as viable as us in that arena, at least until they get there. Yes, I agree with that. But, I still, biblically speaking and biblically educated, can agree that just because this person is a child and this person is an adult, their life is more valuable. That's just not how God lays things out. But anyway, not forgetting the weight of what we're discussing here, a man being senselessly taken away from his family and loved ones, and a man about to very possibly lose his life because he's responsible for that. It's a weighty situation. Those people are alive right now while I'm making this video. If you watch it at all, or at least up until this far, when you hear this, those people will be somewhere getting used to navigating life without their loved ones. And even those on Patrick's side, they've become used to a new normality that also has to navigate the decisions, the mortal, tragic, and lifelong decisions that affect everyone that Patrick made, right? It's a new world for everybody. This video is way too long. Let me close it right here. I'm trying to tell you guys, do you know when Patrick murdered that cop, the amount of energy, I'm talking about practical energy, that was put into attaining justice for that murdered law enforcement agent? Do you know when they caught Patrick how ecstatic they were? Do you know how heavily they pursued 100% justice for their fallen comrade? Do you know how ecstatic they were to see Patrick sit on that stand and say, let's stop the charades, I did it, I deserve to pay with my very life? They were very comfortable and proud, elated and relieved at this display of manhood, at this display of morality, at this display of conscience, of this display of accountability. You know, I mentioned a lot of names, and I ain't even mentioned nowhere near 1.1 whatever the smallest number that is available amount of people that you guys have murdered yourselves, that I said maybe you can stop some of those cop memorials and invest in some memorials for them, since you are really here to damn serve them. Can we get some remembrance for your victims? But since America's birth, whether we're talking about individual or demographics of people, I have not even almost mentioned the countless names that you guys are responsible for murdering. I'm an American citizen. I would like some accountability, some morality, some conscience, family, some manhood, a pursuit of 1,000% justice for my comrades. I would be elated to receive that as well. I would like to get that sense of elation. And you know what? A lot of us, undebatably non-criminal Americans, would too. They were our comrades. We feel about them how you feel about your fallen. It'd be amazing if these terrorist government agents find that inner Patrick McDowell and decide they need to pay what they owe.
Former Bernalillo County Sheriff Darren White commenting on the case.
Reckless, irresponsible actions caused the death of an innocent child.
But Target 7 has discovered that prior to Deputy Garcia joining the sheriff's office, he had previously been charged with 3 counts of abuse of a child and aggravated DWI from an incident happening in 2015. A criminal complaint claims Garcia was driving drunk with 3 people under the age of 18 in the car.
And by his own admission in this criminal complaint.
Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.
My first and only son was taken from our family because of a reckless and dangerous driver, only 2 months after his first birthday. He didn't even make it to his second Christmas. I pray that no parent ever has to know the pain of returning Christmas gifts that were never put under the tree.
A lot of ways to turn a man into a terrorist.